just refuses to let me edit it.
Super fun. Is the post actually up? Because if it is, we can just go ahead and start.
Okay, post is up.
All right. Well, now we should probably welcome everyone to the Joystiq streams. This is a last minute or surprise stream. We have another stream happening later on today. I'm Xav DeMontos, feature content director, joined by Richard Mitchell, reviews content director at Joystiq.com. What's up, Rich?
Hi, everybody.
Hey. So we have early access to the Titanfall beta that is going to begin for those who have been invited, who registered and get codes, which should be happening shortly, hopefully. It's officially going to begin tomorrow and runs until the 18th. So a couple of things, maybe some words of warning about this beta. Because it is early access and because I think very few people have access to it, we may wait for matches to start. Matches may not be full. There might be some waiting here and there. So that's not indicative of what the beta is going to be, and that's not indicative of obviously what the final game is going to be. So a couple words of warning for you if you're watching at home and you're like,
okay, because you can just play the single player, right?
I have bad news for you. So for the longest time, and I think this was because they released like one of the first trailers, maybe it had been the first trailer for the game, made it seem like there was a single player because it was this guy talking about how everything was taken from him, and it made it seem like there was a story to this. And there is a story to the multiplayer apparently, but there is no single player mode in Titanfall. It is a online only first person shooter 6v6. And it's man versus robots, mechs.
Yeah. Well, Xav, they're called Titans.
All right, I don't want to get into that again.
By the way, those of you who are in the Twitch room right now and you're seeing that it says we're playing Outlast, go ahead and refresh the page, and it now properly says that Joystiq is playing Titanfall.
Yay! So, if this is indicative of what I played at a recent event in LA. The first part of this is going to be a pretty lengthy tutorial because there are a bunch of different systems in this game, and they obviously, since there's no single player for you to go and play and learn all of these things, there had to be a tutorial that starts you off with the game. So I'm pretty sure it's going to give us the tutorial if it's exactly the same thing that I played before. And if you're looking for more Titanfall coverage, if you want to hear our video preview or watch our video preview, you can check that out at Joystiq.com.
Since people are asking already, this is the Xbox One version.
Yes, this is the Xbox One version of the beta, which officially begins tomorrow. So yeah, welcome to the frontier. This is going to be the tutorial section, and the tutorial is a little lengthy. It's like 20 minutes long, but it'll walk us through. I'll try to speed through some of the stuff since I've played this before. And this is going to be the beta that everyone gets access to, or the people who get access to tomorrow. This is the beta. It's 3 modes: Attrition, which is team deathmatch; Hardpoint Domination, which is basically capture points; and a final mode called Last Titan Standing, where you have to destroy everyone else's Titan on the opposite team. And even if you're still alive, but your Titan falls, you will lose. Now, if people have problems with the audio, if we need to pod down the game audio, you just let me know. Maybe I should just do that for the sake of argument, because it's set to full blast, and it might drown out Richard's dulcet tones.
Well, we wouldn't want that.
No.
I wanted to... someone was asking... Oh, have you had any experience with the other platforms? I know that at Gamescom, when I first played it, I actually played the PC version. Have you played both versions, or just one or the other?
I've played both versions. I've played the PC version at the GameStop managers meeting, which is open to the public, I think, for a day, or open to people who work for GameStop. And that was using a 360 controller. And I played the Xbox One version just recently with the Xbox One controller. Now, in the video preview, I mentioned that this feels like a controller game, and I feel like the game is really optimized for controller. I've yet to play it on mouse and keyboard. I'm sure it'll work, but right now it feels like a game that's comfortable on a controller, which, you know, if you're looking at a game like Battlefield, for example, I would say that's more of a mouse and keyboard game for me, whereas, you know, Call of Duty nowadays is more of a controller game, so... Couple questions about that. So I'm going to just jump in this training simulator. The future's really dusty, apparently. The trading pod is authorized, by the way.
Training pod?
Pod, yeah.
Okay.
Apple's just gone into a whole different array of products in the future. No, I don't want to invert because I'm not a monster.
Ah, invert is the best. Hey,
No.
quick poll in the Twitch chat. Inverted or quote unquote normal? Shifty Samurai says that the game is a little quiet, so maybe you could take it up a little bit.
I'll throw it up. See, for me, I can't do FPS games inverted, but if I get into a helicopter or an airplane and if it's not inverted, I will crash immediately. Like, it just doesn't make sense. So this is Mirror's Edge, by the way. No, that's just what it looks like.
Hammond Industries. Oh man, like the guy who made Jurassic Park?
Yep.
Nice.
Hey, jump.
Hello, John.
Jump while sprinting.
Welcome to Titanfall.
Oh, it's funny. It disables some of your abilities when you're in this training simulator because it doesn't want you to, I guess, do it too early. Because ordinarily you'd run up against walls. There's like 19 of these training modules, so we're going to try to run through them as fast as we can. Actually, in some of them, literally, we have to.
As a pilot, your most important piece of gear is your jump kit, which allows you to...
So if you've played any first-person shooters, you know, a lot of the core concepts of this game are going to make sense to you, but then there are new things in it that they introduce, like wall running and chaining while running, which you've seen in stuff like Mirror's Edge, but not really in a first-person shooter. Let's ignore the fact there are guns in that game.
So now Forgettable Username is worried that the mechs are going to come alive and start eating people.
Yes, that is actually what it looks like when you get into a mech.
Have they done anything to prevent the mechs from breeding with one another? Because I feel like that could be a problem.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of these crazy thoughts are what made John Hammond create Jurassic Park in the beginning.
These Titans are just too...
Oh god, I did not run on the actual wall there. No. See, I did not actually run on the wall there. Oh, that saved me! Alright, I'm gonna do this again and run on the actual wall that they want me to run on.
Completion requirements met.
Double jump. Yes, there's double jump in this game.
Of course.
Because you have a sweet booster pack.
Extend your natural jumping ability. You can jump once more after leaving the ground. To cover even more distance, wait longer before starting the second jump. Double jump.
So one thing that you can do in this that didn't really become apparent to me until like the end of my preview session was that you can grab onto ledges and not lift yourself. Like you could just grab and hold onto a ledge and actually fire your weapon from hanging off a ledge, which is pretty cool.
That is nice.
Yeah.
That's like tricky.
I'm not entirely sure where they want me to go here. Oh, here we go.
So there's some people in the chat comparing this to Brink now.
Yeah, that's weird. I think everyone has forgotten about that game, but... Did you play much Brink? I actually didn't play too much of it.
I only played a very, very little bit of it, and I found just the mission objectives seemed kind of tedious to me.
So one of the abilities that you have in this is Cloak, and you can select a number of different abilities that you unlock over time. But it's one of the abilities that you have as a human. And that training module is what sort of walked us through that. Oh, we're so close.
In closed quarter situations, you can kill silently with a melee attack. Get close to the target.
Oh, snapped his neck. Any questions about the game from chat?
Let's see. Well, Forgettable Username again says if Jeff Goldblum is not in this game, he's going to boycott it.
It's a good policy to have.
Oh, well, here's sort of it's not really a question about Titanfall, but sort of an analytical question. I mean, do you think Titanfall is something that is going to sell Xbox Ones? Do you think people will be willing to pick up an Xbox One just so they can play Titanfall? Because they don't have to. It's on Xbox 360.
Well, I think that the X factor is the PC. If it was 360 and Xbox One, then I'd say, yeah, I would probably sell some Xbox Ones. But because it's also on PC, then that, you know, people just play it on that platform. Now, Respawn has said that the Xbox One version gets sort of a graphical boost on the Xbox One using the cloud. To be honest, I'm not really seeing that. I don't know if that's activated. I don't know what. That seems like a little bit like smoke and mirrors to me. We haven't really seen that.
It definitely sounds like it.
Yeah, I mean, I do know one thing that was one of the questions that everyone was asking, but they've already talked about this before, is whether or not the game runs on EA servers because of issues with Battlefield and SimCity and other. So one thing that they did remind people of is that the game runs on Microsoft's cloud server. And it's dedicated servers, so there's not going to be any like host migration issues or things like that you saw in Call of Duty, which obviously the guys from Respawn are familiar with.
So we haven't really seen anything of the 360 version at all, have we?
No, I mean it's been recently delayed by a week or so. Whoops, I did not hit the window there. From the guys that I talked to, and obviously they have a vested interest in it, they said that it looks good. It looks obviously not as good, but it looks good. You have to remember this is running on the Source engine, which is a very, very compatible engine. I mean, it's very scalable.
Right.
So one thing I should mention here is I'm using this weapon called the Smart Pistol. And this is your primary weapon, not your secondary weapon. Your secondary weapon is another pistol. But the Smart Pistol is cool because if you get close to someone and you don't aim down the sights, it automatically targets them. And whenever you shoot the bullet will follow the target.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I noticed when I got to play this before, I think that pistol was only for like the engineer class, or it was one of the classes got to use it.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool because it would take down the AI sort of cannon fodder enemies very quickly, and you had to sort of train it on a human player for a couple seconds, and then you just do like a triple tap and you can take them down.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works actually. The only thing that I think it's a really fun weapon to use. The only thing I'm not too keen on is that if you ever go up against a Titan, like if you rodeo a Titan as they call it, it's really difficult to do a lot of damage with this weapon because you rodeo on top of a Titan and then you pull out its core and you start shooting at it to disable it. And with this weapon, it's kind of difficult to do a lot of damage. And if you pull out your like anti-mech weapon while you're rodeoing someone, then you will blow up because it is such. Like your body just explodes into a million pieces. It's pretty funny.
Because you're just too close to the blast and you just kill yourself.
Exactly. So one thing that's really cool about this is the wall running is smart that it resets every time you touch a surface. So every time I touch a wall, my double jump resets. So every time I touch a wall, it will keep resetting itself, so I can keep double jumping. So you can scale pretty high walls that way.
To continue, please switch to your anti-Titan weapon.
I don't know how far we're going to get while we're playing, because I think we're only playing for an hour or so. Or a little bit longer than that. But eventually you will be able to unlock custom classes. And with the custom class, you could sort of just build the class out of any pieces that you want. Which is fun.
So someone in the chat is asking about that smart pistol, worried about it being kind of a cheesy weapon. I mean, do you think it's like overpowered or anything like that?
It's a little powerful. You know what else is really powerful is the melee. Like the kicks are pretty powerful. You can just melee someone once and they die. It was sort of the knife issue that Call of Duty had for a real long time. That Infinity Ward still has an issue with. The smart pistol though is pretty powerful. The thing with the trade-off in that is you have to get really close to use it, and if you get really close, you have to wait for it to target lock, like you said, 3 times, and that takes quite a bit of time on a human. And of course, they could just turn right around and take you out. Oh, I forgot I can totally cloak.
So someone's asking a question that you've actually discussed before about how long it's going to take people to really get a handle for like the verticality and the wall running and everything, and to stop playing the game as if it were Halo or Call of Duty. And you talked a little bit about this in our video preview.
Yeah, you know, it was weird because when I first got into it, I was playing it like Call of Duty. I wasn't really utilizing a lot of the systems. So the way that it works is when you you don't have to earn the Titan like a kill streak in Call of Duty. It's automatically starting to being it's being built for you in the sky, and you have a timer on it, and the timer's like 2 minutes. Now you can do a bunch of things to reduce the limit on that timer. So you can kill AI enemies, which are in the multiplayer matches with you, and they're sort of like in the MOBAs. They have those. What are those characters called? The
like minions.
Like minions in MOBAs, and you kill them and you gain points, and you also gain like a burn off of the time it takes for your Titan to be built in some instances. So you kill a group of them, you get like 4 or 5 seconds off that timer, and your Titan gets built faster. But then there's a system also in it called burn cards, and these burn cards are consumable items that you earn while you're leveling up. And you can use those. They're like one-use cards to, and some of them have like 40 seconds off your timer, your Titan being built. Some of them are, you know, better weapons. Some of them are your Titan as it's on the field will build a meter, and it's sort of like its overdrive, and you can engage that overdrive, and it becomes really super powerful for like 10 seconds or something. There are burn cards to activate that immediately, for example.
Okay. Now, one question we have in here from Ichabod. No, not Ichabod. Where did you go? Oh, forgettable username again. Oh my god, no. Herberkel, which is the best username I've ever heard. So we've talked a little bit about how there are these little AI-controlled soldiers, and of course there are the other pilots, which are human players. Is it easy to tell the difference between those two?
Yes, very easy. One of the factions, their AI minions are robots. And the other one look like soldiers that look nothing like the other player soldiers. So yeah, it's pretty simple to tell them apart.
So do you feel any kind of like aim assist on the Xbox One?
I don't think so, other than the Smart Pistol, which is exactly what it is. But no, not really. I don't feel it. I mean, it might be something in the options. We can look at it. There's no listing for aim assist. They usually let you turn stuff like that on and off.
Yeah, apparently I'm coming through a little quiet, but I
That's probably because the audio of the game is so high. I mean, there's not really much I can do about that.
Is there other like in-game audio volume? I don't know.
Yeah, I potted it down a little bit more.
Okay.
Maybe just can you turn your mic up a little bit, maybe, or scream?
Maybe. Ah!
Okay, well, let's not ever do that again.
Titanfall!
So one of the cool things with the Titan is this vortex shield you can use to sort of grab ammunition that's being shot at you, and that's on a burner as well, so you will have that drain out. But it's cool if you're getting attacked from behind, you can turn around really quickly and hit the vortex shield and grab any missiles or bullets that are being shot at you by anyone. So one thing also that people were sort of doing, and this sort of goes back to first-person shooters, is once they got a Titan, they were in their Titan, and they were not out unless they were killed. So what I ended up doing a lot was actually getting out of the Titan. And if you get out of the Titan, you can remotely control it by giving it simple commands. Like you can tell it to follow you or to guard you. And if you're doing something like hardpoint, you can set your Titan outside of a hardpoint where the Titan can't go inside the building, and it'll protect you from any enemies that come in the vicinity of it. It's not great. It's not really smart. But you know, it's pretty cool.
But still, you got a great big robot buddy following you around.
Very true. So we're close to ending this. I think this might be the last. There might be like one last tutorial after this.
Okay. So Hard Flanny is asking how you would compare the Titans to like the mechs that you see in Hawken, like as far as like how quickly they can move and stuff. Which is a good question for you because you've actually played Hawken.
Oh yeah, I like Hawken a lot. Which actually it's on Steam now. I would say that Hawken's there's more customization, especially like the beta only has one Titan form, which is the Atlas. I think they've announced 3 of them. Hawken's, those mechs are a lot faster because you have more control over their abilities. So I would say that it's pretty fast. I mean, they're kind of slow and lumbering. You can sprint with them, which is kind of funny. but they also can dash, so you can close the gap pretty quickly. And if someone's trying to rodeo on top of you, you can just dash out of the way, and you're literally like 150 meters away from them or something. So it's you can, if you're running after a Titan and they dash away, it's a big gap between the two of you.
So Shifty Samurai asks maybe the most pertinent question thus far. Did you just hack something with a knife?
Yes.
And I have a hacking knife.
I have a hacking knife. And now available at IKEA. And you know, I actually don't think I think that's the only time I've ever seen it. Because when you play Hardpoint or Hardpoint Domination, you just stand beside the terminal and it gets hacked, I think. I'm pretty sure you don't have to do anything special to get it to work.
So do you get much sense of the overall narrative? Because I know they've talked about how it's like, it's a campaign, but it's also online, it's also multiplayer, but there is a story. I mean, do you get much sense of like a real story, or is it just kind of window dressing?
I mean, they've said that when the game comes out, you'll see more of that story stuff as you play. I didn't get a sense of it in the beta. I just know that there are two warring factions. One is a militia group, one is sort of like, it seems like a government-controlled agency with robots. I don't... You know, that's one of the most disappointing parts about the game not having a storyline, to be honest with you. It has a really cool world, and I'd like to know more about it. But right now, it's sort of like wait and see. The beta didn't do a good job of explaining what's going on. Also, because you can create your own custom classes and select different characters, and they all look the same. It's not like you have much of a personality. So it might be like a story that sort of encompasses everything that's happening and not you as an individual.
So
how does Murray feel about Titanfall?
Yes, those are my dogs. I'm probably going to mute my mic for a second.
That's fine.
In the meantime, Forgettable Username wants to know how it feels to pilot a mech. Do you feel like big, stompy?
Yeah, like I said, you're sort of slow and lumbering. I do like as you're walking, there's a good sway to the weapons. You do feel clunkier, but it controls like it's like I'm in a giant Call of Duty mech. It controls a lot like a Call of Duty game. I don't think people are gonna have too much trouble getting the basics down.
So right now we're pretty much just seeing you fighting other Titans, but do you get that sense of scale? Do they feel a lot bigger to you?
Oh yeah, when you're outside of a Titan and you are walking by one, it's sort of a frightening sight to like turn a corner and all of a sudden there's a Titan standing right there who can just very clearly like dash toward you and it will crush you immediately. I kind of wish there was an animation where you can grab someone and then eat them, like Carnage style, but no, nothing like that. Or Primal Rage style, I should say.
I'm thinking like Rampage.
Or
a lot of the buildings.
Or Primal Carnage, which is a game that allows you to do that as well. If you like first-person shooters with dinosaurs.
Or, since we're talking about it, the Sega Genesis version of Jurassic Park.
Very true.
You could be a raptor. So, I mean, maybe discuss sort of like the contrast between the Titans and the pilots, because that's sort of a core of the game, in that you don't feel overpowered or underpowered as either, really.
It was funny, I was talking to one of the game designers, lead designer, Justin, about this, and he was saying that originally the game was a lot faster. The Titans move faster, the players move faster, and it just became anarchy. And also, there are different health systems associated with humans and Titans. So humans have health that regenerates, whereas Titan has a shield that will regenerate, but that's really easy to chip away at. And once the shield is down, any damage that's done to the Titan is permanent. So even if you have a slither of health left and the Titan goes to hide, it can't regenerate its actual health. It regenerates its shield only. And like I said, those shields are pretty easy to take out with your anti-mech weapon. So let's look at the loadouts. So you start with 2, Rifleman and Assassin, and then we'll get the close quarter one later after level 1, and you level up pretty quickly in this. I can't really edit any of this stuff, but eventually you will have the ability to unlock custom classes, and you can outfit different tactical abilities. So, like, for example, the only one that's available for these two classes are the cloak ability, and which actually does trick human players too, because it's a very clear. It's not like Halo where you see sort of a lot of shimmering. I would say that it's a lot cleaner.
Is there any repairing of the Titans? There's a class that can fix them?
No. Titans are... I mean, it's not really about... The thing that's cool about it is if your Titan gets destroyed, you just have to wait another 2 minutes and a Titan's being built right away. I mean, you can keep calling in your Titans if you're still, if you're still kicking around the level. It's not like you have a one use of it. It's not a kill streak. It's not something special. Like, well, I mean, it's cool, but it's not like a special thing you have to unlock. It's always happening in the background, which I think is a really smart idea by them. So the Titans you can also do custom loadouts on, and like I said, there's only one kind of Titan available right now in the beta. It's Atlas. There's 2 others that they've announced, and I'm pretty sure more are probably going to be coming. They have different weapon loadouts. They have different kits and tactical abilities. One of the tactical abilities, we won't see it during the stream because it takes a while to unlock it, is this ability to shoot out a puff of smoke to create cover. But that smoke also has this electrocution effect to it. So if anything goes inside of it, it gets electrocuted. Like humans will get electrocuted and die, or they'll get damaged. And then Titans will sort of like their monitors will be scrambled, and it'll be hard for you to see stuff. So it's pretty cool. Okay. There's a kit thing that I loved messing around with. When you get a lot of damage as a Titan, it tells you to eject, and when you eject, you fly into the sky, and then you can land on other Titans and destroy them. Or if it's a friendly Titan, you can ride on friendly Titans. But there's an ability called nuclear ejection. When you eject, your Titan explodes in this huge nuclear blast. and it happened a lot where people would be coming up to me and punching because you would melee as a Titan. And I'd eject, and as I ejected, you just see this big puff of smoke and light, and it destroys the Titan that was right next to me, which is pretty cool. Nice. You get a ton of points for it.
Am I the only one who thinks the Atlas mech, like its little face, is kind of adorable?
It is kind of adorable. It reminds me. It reminds me of Stephen Merchant's character in Portal 2.
There you go. Yeah, it looks like Wheatley.
So there's 3 modes in this beta. There's Attrition, which is Team Deathmatch, Hardpoint, which is Domination, and Last Titan Standing, which is not Last Man Standing, because you can still be alive, but if your Titan is destroyed, then the match ends. They're all team-based. There's no, like, every man for themselves mode that I can see. Let's start with Attrition. Simple Team Deathmatch. So we should remind people, if they're just tuning in, that this is early access to the beta. It might be hard for us to actually get into a match. As I say that, I matched up immediately. But I don't know if there's a way to mute people. There is.
Journalists everywhere just streaming to their Xbox One.
So I'm gonna mute everyone, unfortunately, just in case, for our own sanity.
As Forgettable Username points out, Atlas is also a character from Portal.
Maybe this is in the same universe with Gone Home and BioShock Infinite and all those other...
We've had a couple people asking about if there are any actual customization options for the soldiers. Like, can you customize the way they look as opposed to just their loadouts?
No, not that I've seen yet. You have the only thing you can customize is their gender. You can select to be a male or female. But essentially, it is sort of like Team Fortress in a way, where in Team Fortress, forgetting the hats, you can identify a person's class by their silhouette. Like, you know what the soldier is because you know what a soldier looks like. And I think, in certain situations that comes in handy. Like, if you see someone who has a sniper rifle, you can, or if you see a silhouette that looks like one of the sniper classes, you could sort of identify those people. No quick scoping. I tried. You can't quick scope. They did say that they specifically got rid of that. Let's go with the smart pistol person. Someone asked. It seems really simple to last in a multiplayer match if you have this weapon. Let's go with that, and we'll go with the chain gun Titan. So it starts. You're dropped off, and I think we are the attacking team here. I can't really hear the game audio, so I might not be able to follow instruction very well. Looks like that person already has a sniper rifle, so they've been playing this for a little while. So this, there's 2 maps available in the beta. There is Angel City, and I want to say the other one's called Shipwreck.
Mm-hmm. So Atlas is also a mech from the BattleTech universe. It's that one with the big skull face. Oh. Which I only know because I used to play Mech Assault on Xbox Live all the time.
Oh, someone was here.
The sounds you're hearing now are the sounds of deep concentration.
Hey man, I'm trying to survive. It's all out war. So you can see the timer is counting down there on my mech being built. I'm at 2 minutes right now.
And the better you do, the faster it drops.
Yeah, I mean you burn off seconds on your mech based on how many allies or any people you kill. So you can see here's the grunts that I killed, and you kill grunts and you get a couple seconds burned off your meter here. And the grunts on the on my team look like humans, and on the militia team they look like robots. So that's how you identify them.
So the one thing I noticed, the one time I was able to play this, which would have been a much earlier build than this one, was that it gets you just... I picked it up really quickly, like the movement and everything. It did not take long for me to figure things out as far as like what was possible. Mm-hmm. It all feels really good and very smooth, in a way, not surprisingly, like Call of Duty.
Yeah, I mean, there you saw when I respawned, it asked if I wanted to respawn as a human or as a mech. And if I wanted to respawn as my Titan, sorry, then you can select that if it's already finished being built. But I'm not going to do that right now. Someone already, on the other team, already has their Titan out. And you can see there's... Is that my guy? Nope, that is the opposite team. When your Titan drops, it has a bit of a protective bubble around it, so you can't immediately just destroy it. And every class has... let's see if I can get this guy going here. Every class has a anti-Titan weapon that you can equip. This one is sort of like a missile launcher. There's another one that's just a simple rocket launcher with a bunch of rockets. And you are going to have to repeat your question because I do not remember it at all.
I think I was just talking about the way that it felt really easy to get into the movement.
Oh yeah, it's not hard. It's not too difficult. It's just you have to remember all the things that you can do. Whether or not it's difficult to get them done, that's actually it's pretty simple to get it done. So I'm going to try to drop my after I get shot. I was going to try to drop my mech on top of those mechs, which you totally can do. Let's go and get my Titan out here before people freak out. Oh, time to bail.
Does the bubble around the Titan, does it protect soldiers inside of it?
Yeah. If you're in that bubble, you're protected, and the bubble lasts for a very, very short amount of time. So we're gonna go ahead and jump inside of my Titan here. Let's see what kind of anarchy we can cause. Let's see if we can keep this thing on the battlefield for more than a few seconds.
Now, someone says this reminds them of Call of Duty and Crisis combined.
Yeah. That's a good way to look at it.
Here's a question. Can you get me a Titanfall beta key? That's from Shifty Samurai.
I love you, Shifty, but no, I can't. I cannot help you.
So actually, I do want to point out for those of you just joining us that it is Xav who is playing Titanfall, not me. And I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother me, even a little bit. I'm not jealous. And I don't want to just run through the internet cables and steal the controller out of it.
The internet cables.
Okay, well, here's a good question, and I think this is actually pretty important because we've seen the soldiers, you know, the pilots running around. We've seen the mechs. Can they really work together in any meaningful way?
I mean, I'd like to say that this is a great team-based thing. I mean, it's not. I mean, like, it's anarchy. As much as I'm sure you could get people to work together to some common goal, but I feel like when I was playing it, everyone was just so focused on getting, doing cool things because everyone was capturing their own video footage for previews. So no one wants to see a bunch of footage of being a support character. Mm-hmm. I don't know. There's not a lot of incentive to be a support class character. So this guy's on my team, but I can also ride on top of him if I want to get a lift somewhere. It's obviously the one mode where that teamwork comes in handy is hardpoint. You have to work as a team there. So here, we'll return to that question. Let's do this now. We have to now escape. This is one of the coolest things about the game that I think is the concept of when a match is over, if you're the attacking team, you have to get to your dropship. And if you die on your way to the dropship in this segment, in the evacuation segment of the game, then you are dead. You cannot respawn, and the other team is just trying to destroy you and your dropship. There's someone coming up here, I think. Oh. God.
So what's in it for the other team if they succeed in keeping you guys from evacuating?
They get a bunch of points. And if we evacuate, which we did not, they destroyed our dropship. So they're going to get a bunch of points for stopping the evacuation. If we were able to evacuate, then we would get a bunch of points on our side.
Now, one thing I will say in terms of team play, one of the only things that felt sort of team-like when I played it was if you were a pilot and you spot like a huge Titan battle going on, is that you can, you know, go get on a rooftop somewhere and start just laying into an enemy Titan with your anti-Titan weapon to sort of give your side the edge in that fight.
Yeah.
Someone's asking a forgettable username wanting to know if they have anything like complementary abilities or anything, even if people aren't using them in a team way. Are there things that are designed to be used that way?
It's really hard to say. I don't really recall all of the tactical abilities that you have, and I don't know if... I don't even see a listing here for custom classes, so I don't know if that's actually not in this beta. You can set custom classes. Right. I will say that there's some team stuff that you certainly could do, and if you have a team of players that you usually play with, then you'll have a better chance of obviously working as a team with people that you know online. There is the instance where I jumped on my fellow teammate's Titan. If I'm on top of his Titan, that means that an enemy cannot rodeo his Titan and destroy him. And you'll see a lot of, and I saw this a lot during when I was playing it at a preview event. I was on top of my ally's Titan, and you just see guys falling out of the sky trying to land on top of it, trying to jump on, and it immediately just like pushes them off because you're occupying that space. So people didn't realize that, oh, he's being rodeoed by someone else. I can't jump on it right now. Right. One thing also that's cool, and hopefully this will happen, if someone rodeos your Titan, whether it be an ally or an enemy, it will notify you that someone is riding your Titan. It tells you if it's a good guy or a bad guy, which I kind of wish it didn't, but whatever. It tells you that someone is rodeoing your Titan. If it's an enemy, what I used to just do is just like get out of the Titan, and people, like I said, are so focused on the first-person element of like, I'm now doing this, I'm not doing anything else, that they would just sit there on top of the Titan shooting at it. I would get out, shoot them a couple times, they'd die. I get back on my Titan and drive away. It's pretty funny.
I know, yeah, I did that a couple times too, because for some reason you're like myopic. Like you crack open the back of the Titan and expose like its brain or whatever, and you can start shooting it. It still takes a while to take it down.
Yeah.
And I did that numerous times too. You just get out, shoot the guy who's riding your Titan's back, and you just keep on doing what you're doing.
Yeah. So this is the intro of each mission. You start on this dropship. It looks like we are defending this time, not attacking. So we'll see the other side, hopefully, of the evacuation phase.
So are there any game types that have like more than one objective at all?
You mean other than hardpoint where there's multiple hardpoints? Or you mean like you have to do X, Y, and Z, like conquest situation?
Yeah, things like that.
No, I mean it's team deathmatch. It's last Titan standing. A lot of people jumped out of their Titan in that mode when I was playing it, which is a pretty good strategy, I think. It really depends on what if you're working as a team, that might actually come in handy. If you decide like, okay, we're going to split up, and half our Titans are going to be automated, and half of our Titans are going to be legit, and we'll try to protect them, and then maybe the human players can sneak up behind the other team and take them out with rockets or something. So that might be a team element, but there's no multiple objectives in any of the modes that I played so far.
Just to clarify things, is rodeo, is that the in-game term for whenever you get on a
yes
on top of a Titan? Okay.
Originally, I think Justin, one of the lead designers, was telling me that he actually said that they had toyed with the idea of letting people hijack Titans, but that was pretty early on, and that just creates much more chaos, I think. And you can't hijack, like, one thing that I think is a little weird, if you die and your Titan's still on the ground, then your Titan just stays out there. It doesn't get destroyed immediately. Mm-hmm. And that, it becomes automated at that point. It doesn't actually, it just tries to protect your interests and other people on your team and things like that. So I guess that makes sense, but what I thought was a little weird is you can't grab an ally's Titan and just jump in and like use his kit, for example, like you could in a battlefield if you pick up someone else's weaponry. Oh boy, what just happened there?
Oh, that was a big gun. So let's see. People are asking about the system requirements, and I'm going to go ahead and look that up. They're not that bad.
No, I mean it's Source Engine, so it's really scalable. Here, I have this target lock weapon here. I gotta wait for that shield to drop. So one thing that's interesting is if you are being targeted by a missile or something, it will tell you that a pilot is locking onto you and give you their sort of position. This guy tried to sneak up on me. It's really hard to play this game and talk at the exact same time. That's my excuse.
So let's see. Al Brown is asking how you feel about the maps. I mean, do you think they're too big, too small, or right about where they need to be?
They're pretty good size here. I think one thing that I really like about them is they're built with both kinds of players in mind. Like there are buildings in here, there are structures here that are only accessible by humans because the Titans are just far too big. And I think that that's a smart idea. It separates people. It also separates conflict when you're doing something like hardpoint. There's going to be hardpoints that are only inside of buildings, so you can't just put a Titan there and park it and secure a hardpoint. So it's a good balance, I think. There's only been 2 maps revealed. I'm not entirely sure how many more maps are actually in the game. I'm hoping it's quite a bit. I know they have said that there are going to be no microtransactions, which is good because there are consumables in the game, and that would not be good if there were consumables that you would have to purchase as well. But I'm sure they're going to sell maps. That's going to be the bread and butter. There is a season pass, I think, so.
And I would also note on the maps too is you'll notice even just watching the stream here that there are some like close quarters areas inside of the buildings. There are lots and lots of rooftops for all you dirty snipers out there. And have you had much time with the sniping? Because I know that, you know, Respawn has talked about that and how they wanted to sort of make it, I don't know, improve sniping in games a little bit and keep it from being like no scopes and keep it from being overpowered, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I messed around with the sniper rifle. I tried quick scoping, did not work. Oh, so it says that someone's on top of my Titan right now, rodeoing my Titan, but he was smart and... Oh, no, he's not smart. He's still on top of it. So I just jumped out and shot him. Yeah, I messed around with the sniper rifle. I was pretty successful with it. I had a couple good matches. I think now that the embargo's up, I wonder if... Really, dude? You're gonna jump on my Titan again. Alright. Oh, that is not my Titan. I think my Titan was destroyed. Oh, no. This is it.
One of my favorite details in this game, and I hope everyone watching has noticed it, is that when you get into a Titan that has already been activated, it's not just like sitting there waiting for you. The robot, the Titan, will actually just bend over, pick you up, and stick you inside of its cockpit.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's a cool effect. So I'm dead, but my Titan is still out there. Actually, no, it was just destroyed. But I think that's a cool element. It will, and also if you have it set to follow you, it will run toward your position, which is a neat thing. So you don't have to go hunting for your Titan. Let's go.
So someone was noticing the shield, whatever you call it, the sort of magnetic shield that can catch bullets and projectiles in it and then throw them back.
Yeah, the vortex.
Vortex.
So I'm gonna see, I died. Damn it. Now because I died during the evacuation phase, I can no longer respawn. So this phase of the game, if you've been successful or if you have been defeated in your goal, and it's like a ticket system, I think, in attrition, then you have to get to a dropship, like I mentioned. If you're an attacker, then you have to get to the dropship to escape. If you're a defender, you have to try to either kill everyone who's getting to the dropship or destroy the dropship. And in that phase of the game, which lasts about a minute, is no respawns.
Right.
So we're going to follow someone on my team and see if they can make it. So they made it to the dropship. It's going to leave in a couple seconds here, and it looks like they're going to make it.
Do you happen to know what year this is supposed to take place in?
I have no idea. You could tell me 2100, you could tell me 2015. I would believe you either way. They don't really... Okay. They may have expressed that in like a trailer or something, but I don't know that from the game. I should mention also something about the evacuation phase that I wanted to mention. Oh gosh, sorry, I just lost my train of thought there. Sorry. Do we have any other questions? Maybe I'll remember.
Perhaps. So here's sort of a legit concern, again from Forgettable Username. He says he doesn't want to be a downer, but feels like some of the creative stuff that could have happened in this game didn't happen. I mean, is it just like regular deathmatch, but sometimes you're a robot? Like, is he missing something?
No, I mean, that's essentially it. Hey, look, it's Tycho, everyone, from Penny Arcade.
Shoot him.
I'm pretty sure that, I don't know, I feel like there's been a little discussion about that in our preview. People were like, you know, I thought this was more than it was. I'm not entirely sure. Like, does he have specific things that he thought it was going to be? It is essentially like deathmatch with robots and humans. That is it. I mean, I find it to be kind of cool. So, I guess maybe that's just me.
You'll all notice that none of the gamer tags on the screen are mine, and I'm okay with that. I'm fine with it.
Hopefully I'm answering people's questions well. I feel like I'm sort of stumbling between trying to play this game and dying a lot, and
that is the delicate ballet that is live streaming.
It certainly feels like that way.
One thing, how many of there's only one Titan available in the beta. Do you know how many of the different pilot loadouts are available?
There are 3 default pilot loadouts. There are custom classes that you can create as well. Each different loadout, one was assault, one was close quarter combat, and the other one escapes me. We'll look at that screen in a second here. Those are the 3 character models, it looks like. There are no changing from those, and depending on which faction you're on, they look different. The militia, for example, their sniper character or recon character has a mask, kind of looks like Tally from Mass Effect, which I guess they're allowed to do because it's published by EA.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe they'll be like Square Enix and they'll just put a million EA characters.
Oh, so here, custom pilots are available if we get to level 5. I don't know how much time we have left, to be honest with you. We can go until we have to not, because we have another thing scheduled at 1 o'clock Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. So, Rifleman, Assassin, and Close Quarter Combat. Let's go with, I'm horrible with shotguns in multiplayer shooters, and we unlocked a new Titan class, Artillery, and we'll go with that for this one. So one thing about the mini-map that I think is really intelligent is there are different identifiers for Titans and for human players. So there is a big red dot for a human player and a little red dot for a enemy that is one of the minions. So I can identify them pretty easily on the minimap. And with the Titan is a big arrow pointing to the direction that they are facing. So that's an intelligent idea, I would say.
So here's a very basic question. What are all those spaceships about in the loading screens?
So when you extract, and we saw a little bit of this in the beginning when we did the tutorial, you are dropping in from space. So the militia is attacking these government interests, and they are on planets, and the militia is in space, as all militia seem to. I don't know how militia affords to be in space. Space travel must be pretty cheap in the future. But yeah, that is, I guess, all to it. Again, there is a narrative window dressing to this game. They don't do a great job of explaining any of that stuff, to be honest with you, though.
This is an interesting question from the chat, and I have no idea if you can answer it, but we have a Portuguese viewer asking if you can confirm whether the game is in Portuguese. And I would think you would know. You have a Portuguese background.
I am Portuguese. I don't know if it has Portuguese subtitles in the final version. I would hope so. Portuguese is a very common language in the world, spoken in many different countries. Now I'm just promoting Portugal at this point, I think. I would hope so. They haven't said what regions the game is coming out. I know it's coming out in Europe on the 13th, I think, for the Xbox One and PC, and on the 28th on the Xbox 360, or maybe the 20th. I think it's the 28th. Maybe if we can get Richard maybe to confirm that. March 11th for Xbox One and PC in North America.
Okay, let's see. I will figure out the Xbox 360 date in the meantime. Let's see. Xbox 360, March 25th. Yep.
Okay. That's North America.
Yes. In Europe, March 28th.
All right. So now I'm on the an ally Titan here. Oh, maybe if you spotted that, you'll see one of the Titans using the nuke ability.
So, sorry, excuse me. Someone's asking a question about like the balance between the different guns.
The only one that's sort of an X factor, I think, is that smart pistol, because it can auto lock onto people. I had a lot of trouble with it originally because I was trying to auto lock by looking down the scope, and it doesn't work that way. You have to hip fire for it to work, and you have to be real close for it to work. So it's going to be interesting to see how people use that ability. Oh.
All right, we have someone asking if it's cross-compatible across Xbox 360 and Xbox One. I'll answer that. No.
Nope.
It's not compatible across Xbox One and PC either. Let's see. So John's Vic is asking, like the way the maps feel, like how directed does like the traffic through the map feel? Are there natural choke points, or does the double jumping and like the you know the oh my god, you know, climbing on buildings and stuff, does that sort of eliminate the sort of traditional choke points that you normally see?
Yeah, because I feel like Titans come into the battle so quickly that you're sort of fighting against that clock. If you get it first on the battlefield, you can hit a lot of tickets off of your opponent. So a lot of the choke points feel like they're built more for the Titans in mind than the human players. When you go indoors for things like this map has a pretty strenuous hallway section that you have to go through in order to get to one of the hard points in hardpoint domination, which we should switch modes after this, actually, now that I think about it. That it becomes pretty hard to get to objectives inside buildings, but when you're outside, it feels like it's built primarily with the Titans in mind. I mean, this is a good choke point, for example, that I'm looking at, this street here for Titans, but it's such a huge area for humans that they sort of focus on the rooftops. what you want to try to do, at least what I was trying to do when I was playing the game, is if there were Titans on the field, you want to get above them. Because if you're above them, then you have a better shot at trying to take them down. It's really difficult to spot people on roofs when you're as a human, when you're in a Titan, if people are shooting down on you. So I just unlocked my damage core. I've been on the battlefield for a while, so I'm going to activate it now, and all of my abilities are going to go and do crazy amounts of damage. And I think he was going to try to rodeo me.
We do have someone asking if there are any modes that don't feature the Titans at all.
No, not that I've seen. Because then, you know, just you'd play a different game, I guess. I mean, the Titans are the thing, right?
Sure.
So I just killed a mess of dudes there.
Oh, so here's an interesting question. They had just announced the other day that you know, there's going to be a big Xbox One update for Titanfall. It's supposed to streamline the friends list and everything, but they've also announced an update that somehow through software is supposed to make the Xbox One analog sticks more precise. Do you feel like they need to be?
No, I mean, I've never really had too much of a problem with it. Do people feel like the stick... I mean, it took a while for me to get used to this controller, to be honest with you. The PlayStation 4 controller is pretty sweet.
Although the story with the PlayStation 4 controller people are talking about now is the rubber wearing off on the analog sticks.
Really?
I haven't had a problem with it, but I have seen some pictures of it. I don't know how widespread it is, although, you know, the DualShock 4 feels great. It's still probably my favorite next-gen controller by far.
The only thing I hate about the PS4 controller is its awful battery.
Yeah.
It is the worst. I mean, I understand it has the touchpad it has to worry about. It has a bunch of other stuff it has to worry about. Oh, gosh. I'm so close.
Gotta make it. Gotta make it.
I'm gonna do it. Yes. So a funny thing, I gotta show this clip somewhere. I had a really great match. I was a sniper. I was like 15-1. So I made it to the dropship, and I was the sole survivor, so I got a little extra bonus there because I'm the only one who made it. So it tells you, like, dropship's gonna be here in 30 seconds. You get to the dropship, and it stays there for about 10 seconds before it takes off. I was running. I got there at 1 second. The door closed, and it took off, and I was in the middle of a jump while I was jumping toward it, and the door closed, and it took off, and I just fell off a building. I actually think that clip is in our video preview. I was like, oh, man. I could not believe that happened. It's pretty funny. Yeah, so let's switch modes here. I feel like we've been doing attrition for a long time.
So Vanguard is asking, are there traditional kill streaks in the game?
No.
No, okay.
Not that I've seen. Let's do Last Titan Standing. I kind of feel like this is the mode that I like the least of the three, because it's sort of it makes for some pretty quick matches, and I feel like once you're in it, let's play for a while, and we may have to. Let's see if it takes a little while to find people. I should remind people, if you're new to our stream right now, this is early access beta. If we have problems finding people, if we have connection issues, the beta officially doesn't begin tomorrow, so not very many people have access to it right now. So this is not indicative of what the beta is going to look like tomorrow, or when the game comes out.
Here's a good question from Combo 187.
Yeah.
Like, can you use the anti-Titan weapons on humans?
Sure.
Are they effective?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Not the rocket launcher so much, because it's more of a lock-on weapon. But the other main weapon, which is sort of shoots out like bursts of grenades, you can totally hit people with those. They're not... I don't know how much luck you'll have, but you can get a couple kills with that. It's actually... Because there's a pretty good splash damage on it, it's good to take out the militia minions, or the grunts as they're called, because they usually travel in packs, so you can get like 3 or 4 kills really easily. We're not getting any luck with Last Titan Standing. Let's go to Hardpoint, see if anyone's playing that.
What how good is like the Titan AI if you just let it go and do its own thing?
I mean, it's pretty simplistic. It will just shoot at enemies, and hey, we're getting all the celebrities here. We got Giant Bomb up in this business now. All right, so yeah, they're not too bright. I mean, they will just fire at enemies. They won't go to different choke points. I mean, as soon as you spawn on the map, it goes to your position. So you can set it to guard an area. So you hit down on the D-pad when you're outside of your Titan, and you can give it 2 commands: follow or guard. In guard, it will just sit there. If enemies come anywhere near it, or if it can spot an enemy, it will fire at that enemy. But it usually only uses its primary weapon. I've never seen an automated Titan use its secondary weapon, which is a missile array, something you can change, obviously. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, they're simplistic mechanical beasts. They will follow you around though, which is kind of cool. If you want to get out of your Titan and jump on rooftops, it will follow you down streets and stuff, which is kind of a cool thing.
So, how much differentiation is there? Because in the beta, you don't get access to different kinds of Titans. I mean, how much differentiation is there between them and the humans? Have you had a chance to play with any of the different classes?
I've only ever seen Atlas playable, which is the Titan class that's in the beta. They've announced a couple other ones. One of them has a very weak armor set, but is a lot faster. I think that was the one they announced during the VGAs or the XGAs. What are they called now? I don't remember what they're called.
The Samuel Jackson Awards.
The Samuel L. Jackson Awards. You're thinking of the Lawrence Fishburne Awards. Yeah. So I don't know. Unfortunately, we can't really answer that question right now. So this is hard point, 3 points on the map, A, B, and C. You've seen this before in other multiplayer shooters. They have C right now. We've captured A. So we now need to hold these hard points for an X amount of time. I don't know exactly... I'm getting messages all kind now all of a sudden. I don't know... they're not really great at explaining the win conditions for when the evacuation procedure begins on this particular mode. Like with attrition or team deathmatch, it's like X amount of points. All right, but I guess it's ticking down there in the corner when those meters fill up. So never mind, I'm done.
So, question: have you ever run out of ammo? People are wondering about your.
Oh, that is a great question. No, I've never. I mean, I've never lasted long enough. That I've not seen like class. There's no class stuff with abilities, so you can't drop ammo packs like in Battlefield, which is my go-to class when I play Battlefield, which I've been playing a lot of Battlefield lately, actually.
Do you feel? Do you ever?
I do feel. Yes, I'm not a robot.
Do you feel anything, Xav?
Do you feel?
You monster! You got early access to Titanfall, and I'm sitting here talking to you about it. I just get to stare at a screen. I don't get to play it.
You can watch me. You can live vicariously through me.
So is there any fall damage?
No. No fall damage.
Have you ever seen like an ammo pack lying around?
No, I haven't. And I don't think you get any ammo for like killing people and running over their body.
So we showed the smart pistol earlier, and for anyone who's just signing in, that can sort of automatically track enemies and shoot them. But it takes a while to get a lock on.
Yeah, we'll jump back to that character class when I die.
And you also have a standard pistol in that loadout too. How does that compare?
Standard pistol is full auto in that particular set, that particular kit set. So I mean, it's just a faster pistol. I have more luck, obviously, with the auto locking one. Surprise! Oh man, I'm getting shot up. I don't know where from. So this is a good... oh, B is contested. I was going to say this would be a good way to show you something, but then I immediately got shot. So one thing we should maybe talk about again, because people are just joining us, there is regenerating health for human players in this. If I just were to hide for a little while, I'd get my health back. Whereas with the Titans, there is a regenerating shield that is very easy to chip away at. Boy. But the any permanent damage that you do to a Titan, it stays done to it. So You can just kind of chip away at their shield and get back to what you were doing before if you want to try to take them down.
All right, and maybe I'm opening a can of worms by asking you this in public.
There is a Titan on fire. That was weird. I just saw like a Titan on fire there.
So I'm going to ask you this publicly, perhaps foolishly. Does it bother you if people call you Xavier instead of Xav?
No. Whenever I go to Starbucks, I say Xavier because I've never had luck with anyone having a clue what I say when I say Xav.
Grab?
One time, one time, and this is on my Instagram. Weird thing to mention during the stream. I ordered a coffee at Starbucks and said my name was Xav, and I got my cup and it said Sergio on it. And I don't know where that came from. And it was my cup.
Sergio. I would be Sergio for a day. Yes, thank you for my coffee. I am Sergio.
Get off! Oh. Huh. That was weird.
Have you gotten a feel for about how many different weapons there are? From what I'm seeing, it doesn't look like a Call of Duty where you're unlocking like a million guns.
Oh, this is an auto Titan. That makes more sense. I was like, why is the guy not attacking me during this phase? It's really weird. So I'm going to just go ahead and destroy his Titan. Because he is not in it. Oh, weird. It showed the animation for me to get into his Titan, but that wasn't my Titan. That is really weird. I've never seen that happen. It's beta. Bugs. Whoa. Someone was behind me there, I think.
So, I think... Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Let's see. How many weapons do you think are in the game? Are there like a million weapons or just a couple?
I've no clue. I know of 3.
Do you are you unlocking new weapons or are you unlocking like loadouts?
You are unlocking later on. I think you unlock when you unlock the custom classes at level 5. You unlock the ability to use different weaponry and abilities. You get different tactical abilities, like cloak, for example, is one of them. Yeah, you unlock a bunch of stuff. There's a progression system. These are the Call of Duty dudes. They know what a progression system looks like. So you can see my shield is down, but now I'm getting chipped away at here. Oh gosh. Oh, see, I didn't eject in time. Did I kill anyone there at least? I don't think I did. Yeah, I don't know how many weapons are in there, sorry.
It's a nice practical question for the people who are getting ready to hopefully download the beta in a couple days. How big is the download on Xbox One?
Oh man, I think it was like 2.5 gigs. I don't really recall. That is a great question.
Forgettable Username mentions one of my favorite parts of the game. Whenever you hop into the Titan, the way that the screens kind of fold out and that's your view. Very cool animation.
Yeah, when you hop into the Titan from any angle, there's a different animation, which I think is really cool. Like if you jump right at it and are just outside of the bubble, he'll reach out his hand and grab you and put you inside of his stomach. We talked about that one. If you're above it, you just jump inside of this hole. So I'm going to try to shoot this guy out of the sky. Oh, here he is.
Another good question. Do you ever, like, just you personally, have you ever filled out a real bug report when playing a beta?
Never in my entire life. And I have publicly tested a lot of MMOs before doing this as a job, where they're like, all right, we're going to let you in, but you have to give us some feedback. I'm like, sure, I'll totally do feedback. No, never.
Okay. Does everyone have grenades in this game?
Yes, and I have not been using them, and I probably should. And I just died. One thing that I think should be the takeaway of this is that you can stand right underneath your Titan, and it will not kill you.
Now, what if an enemy is under a Titan?
You can crush enemies with the Titan. Actually, one thing that's funny to do is, let's see if we can melee someone out of their Titan here. Oh God. Sorry. I lost my train of thought in the middle of this amazing battle with 3 Titans and a dude totally trying to board on top of me that I can see. Oh man, I just blew him up. So if you drop your Titan in on top of another Titan or another player, it will crush them. One thing that's fun to do is you can board someone and then drop your Titan right on the ground where they're boarded. And then if they jump out to try to kill you, then your Titan just lands on both of them. It destroys their Titan and them, and it pops you into the sky because you cannot kill yourself with your own Titan. Which is kind of a fun thing to do. Fun things to do with Xav. Welcome to our stream.
Fun things in Titanfall.
Yeah, buddy, your thing ended before mine, so I'm going to...
Are there different kinds of grenades?
Yes. There's electromagnetic grenade. Oh. And you can get on top of the map apparently, but if you stay up here it will kill you. Because I just got on top of the map.
You mentioned earlier that one of the primary things you can do as a pilot, one of the human players, is get on a rooftop, pull out your anti-mech weapon, and start plugging away at Titans.
Yep.
One of the things I noticed in the couple matches that I played is that another thing you can do as a human player that's very enjoyable is going to look for the people who are on rooftops shooting at other Titans because they're not paying attention to anything else.
Yeah. It's sort of this one-track mind that I felt like comes with this game being a little bit more advanced than something like a Call of Duty or a Battlefield in terms of all of the abilities you have. Not that to say those games are not advanced in their own way.
Sure.
And I feel like that is a lot of what happens, especially when I was playing it in the beginning. I feel like people were very focused on this is the kind of thing I'm going to do right now. I'm on top of this Titan. I will keep shooting at this Titan even though it mysteriously has stopped moving because people don't realize, oh, I get a notification that you're on top of my Titan. I'll just jump out and shoot at you while you sit there. I feel like as time progresses, people will get better at stuff like that. Sure. But right now, not so much.
There's a lot of stuff to keep track of. Sort of like Battlefield. Obviously, Battlefield has many more vehicles to deal with, but you do have, there's Titans running around. Do you want to get into a Titan? Do you want him to follow you around? Do you want to do close quarters? Do you want to try to take other Titans out? And there's a lot of things to keep track of.
Yeah, as you can see there, I just died by being on an ally Titan, and one of the enemy Titans punched it, and it punched me into a million pieces.
Sure. And we're getting around to the end of our stream time.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, we couldn't get anyone in the Last Titan Standing mode. Let's see if I can get my Titan out here.
Another thing we haven't been able to see in this stream that's one of my favorite things is if you are in a Titan and you have battled another to the point that it's almost ready to explode, you can execute it. You can finish it by holding X, I think.
Yeah, no, yeah. If you melee them, then you you click on the stick and then you grab them out of the Titan and throw them away like they're nothing. It's pretty funny.
Is there any destruction at all in the game? I don't see any.
No, Levolution is exclusive to the Battlefield 4. No, not that I can see. I think we have time for another round here. We can probably get another one in. Let's see if we can try to get into Last Titan Standing for people.
Okay.
And I also wanted to maybe level to level 5 so we could show people the customization stuff. So we just unlocked challenges, and challenges are will unlock new content in the game. Let's see if we can get to the challenge menu. Let's leave this lobby and we'll take a look at that stuff. Alright, so we'll go to the challenges. And there are different challenges. We'll unlock more at level 5 and level 10. There are Titan challenges and pilot challenges. Some general challenges are playing the game for X amount of time, getting a certain amount of kills, and your rewards are XP. So very much like Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 had stuff like this. You'd get XP for completing challenges, and XP obviously gains you the ability to increase in level, and levels is what unlocks new stuff for your custom classes. Let's try Last Titan Standing one more time. Hopefully we can try to get into a match. We have one other person here. I will mute them immediately because I do not trust anyone.
No, you shouldn't.
All right, well, I don't want to really sit on this menu. Unfortunately, we can't get into it last time. It's basically everyone spawns with a Titan already. You spawn in your Titan. You're free to get out of it, and you have to destroy the enemy Titans. Just the Titans. You don't have to necessarily kill all of the human players. And once a human player is dead, though, they do not respawn. And you just have to destroy all the Titans. It's a really quick mode. It wasn't my favorite. I kind of like the juggle between the two different sides of it. And if you die stupidly by like running out and a Titan steps on you or something, then it kind of stinks. Let's leave this lobby. We'll do another hard point, I think, because that one was fun. And maybe I can actually pay attention this time.
We'll see.
I doubt it, but we'll see. And then hopefully we'll get enough to unlock level 5. Oh boy. Oh, it's throwing me into a match already. In progress. So, yeah, so hopefully we'll get to level 5, and at level 5 we unlock a bunch of stuff we can take a look at. I don't think you unlock the Titan customization until like level 10. Mm-hmm. So we might not be able to see that in time, but at least we'll get to see the player customization people. Maybe that will answer some questions for people. Any other questions from the chat? I want to thank everyone for joining us, by the way. I almost turned off my Xbox by extending my arms and Kinect freaked out. So do not yawn while you are playing Xbox One. Apparently.
Do you see the there's a YouTube video floating around of someone who made their gamer tag Xbox sign out?
Yeah, I saw that. Or Xbox. I almost said it out loud. That's how dumb I am.
Or whatever Xbox
it's
log off.
Turn off, yeah.
Yeah, and
and then people would say, but I've never been in a lobby and decided I'm going to say this person's name randomly, so I think a lot of that might have been
well, I think it was the point was this person would go into games and you know, troll other people to the point that they started telling him to stop, and they used his name, and their Xbox would try to turn off.
It's pretty good. So this is the Smart Pistol, which automatically locks up to 4 targets, so those grunts I killed in one shot are really easy to kill.
Does the game have ranked and unranked matches?
Not that I've seen. I mean, it might be in the final game, there might be custom stuff in the final game, but not in the beta, at least.
Okay.
So let's see if we can go capture C here. I don't think I muted anyone in this match, and now I'm starting to get worried. Did I? I muted some people. Not that I don't love you, but I don't trust you. Where's C? It's over here.
Yeah, so it definitely looks like it takes the Smart Pistol a couple seconds to get a lock on, because just running into a room, you're not going to just kill someone in a second.
Yeah, so I think it's a pretty good balance. You do have to lock onto a human player twice, actually. You have to lock on 3 times, get 1 shot off, and then lock on again to get a 2nd shot off before you kill them. Mm-hmm. So it's not just 3 target lock and they're dead. As you can see, I got 1. There's 2. Alright, I finally actually did get that kill now.
We got Charlie. And Lemur Fart in the comments is saying that the Smart Pistol is almost cheating with those grunts. But the grunts are pretty easy to kill.
Oh yeah, they're cannon fodder. I mean, they are window dressing. They get you some points.
They're just your standard like AI soldier.
I'm actually gonna switch my loadout because Smart Pistol, it takes a little too long to get a lock on. Sometimes it can be fun, but not my favorite. So there's a Titan out. So I am going to try to get up this building. Some of these buildings have like weird edges on them, so it's kind of difficult to figure out like the proper way to get up some of them. But you know, over time, I'm sure people will learn how to use this stuff a lot better.
Have you experienced any problems with lag so far?
There was a little bit of stuttering in the last match I did. Don't know if that was frame rate issue or lag issue. I couldn't really tell. We're also running this through capture stuff, which always makes things a little muddy.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure if people are like, this doesn't look like great quality, it's because probably that specific reason. You're watching a stream through capture equipment.
Hey, you're getting close to a hard point. It's somewhere inside a building. Check your map.
Did I kill that guy's Titan? Or kill the guy who called in that Titan? Wait, A is over here, so we're gonna...
It's just, I mean, a lot of fun to kind of chip away at Titans.
It sure is. I rather enjoy it. They're, I think it's a pretty good balance. I mean, your weaponry does some substantial damage. And the thing that's good about it is if you are working as a team and like a Titan is on the field and chips away at their shield, which it can do very quickly, and then you shoot a missile, a rocket at it. Like I have the rocket launcher and it came with 14 missiles. Mm-hmm. Like they want you to use these things and take out Titans. I mean, I think it's a pretty good balance. I think the only thing, and I haven't really done it yet, is the thing that I think they really should need to work on is this kick. If you get up behind someone in melee, you'll grab their neck and snap their neck. One-hit kill, that makes sense. But if you run at someone and kick them, it seems like almost every time you get a one-hit kill on it. And really? I feel like that is something that really needs to be looked at. It's a
steel-toed boots.
Yeah.
Do you get the feeling there are parts of the map that you can't reach with even with all your double running and parkour and stuff?
No, I feel like they're pretty laid out to be very specifically zoned out for here's a Titan area, here is a human area.
And I mean, we did see a few minutes ago that you ejected from your Titan, which shoots you into the stratosphere, and you landed on top of like a crane or something, and it very quickly told you, you know, get back on the field. You're off the map.
Yeah, so I mean, it looks like they're at least trying to have some spots where they know, hey, you cannot be over here. So.
Sort of an interesting customization question. Can you change the size of the minimap?
Oh God. That guy had the nuclear ejection, and I couldn't get out of the way in time, so I blew up. The minimap, yeah, there is a HUD option in here, but it is disabled for the beta. It says, you can see in the HUD, it's in the options, it says HUD margin large, so maybe you can adjust the margin of it or the size of it. I don't know if that means also the size, but looks like it. This is what I'm a little wary about on the PC version. I wonder how PC-centric it's going to be. I mean, Call of Duty has sort of lost its PC roots. Like, people really have to fight for some of those PC options. So, see, I cannot shoot that missile launcher without locking on. Any other questions that I might have missed or something that we want to maybe cover?
Well, here's one. Have you ever seen one of the grunts actually kill someone, like a human player?
Yes. Could that person have been me once? Maybe.
And we have someone asking about the progression system, and we've discussed this earlier in the stream, but yes, there is a progression system. You do unlock things. It's not all available right when you start.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool progression system. We will see a bit of that shortly, because I did unlock level 5 here. So hopefully when we're done this match, we'll take a look at that stuff. Sorry, I feel like I barely say a word here. I'm in the middle of massive firefights with giant robots. Robots. Oh God, I just threw a grenade inside here with me, and I killed myself. Oh God, I meant to throw it at the window. Didn't work out. I'm awesome. Alright, so we are going to... So here is a bunch of grunts. They kind of hang out in spots. I'm going to disable these guys real quickly. I'm getting points for days. So let me just show people, because I didn't really show this to anyone. So there's my Titan, and I've engaged in follow mode, or in guard mode, and now it's in follow mode. You can tell by the icon there in the bottom right corner. So now it will follow me pretty much everywhere I go. So if I'm running on rooftops, it will follow me around streets, and it's pretty intelligent. I haven't seen any get stuck. I'm not going to say that that's probably not a possibility.
So, this is a good question. Ejection is automatic, or is it manual?
It is manual. You can set it to automatic based on class. There are that have that ability.
And you have to, like, mash the X button, don't you? Like, repeatedly?
Yeah. You do.
And one thing that we saw earlier, and you're going to do it like a million times until you realize it's not always the best idea, is that whenever you eject and it launches you into the stratosphere, you can fall back down from the sky onto the mech that killed you and try to hijack it.
Yeah, I haven't really done that too much. I was doing it like crazy when I was playing it not too long ago at that preview event. So why don't we take a look at the customization stuff for the pilots, because we've unlocked that now. So we're level 5. Got some customization for the pilots. Unlocked some challenge stuff, which will get us more XP. And let's back out of this lobby. Go to pilot loadouts. All right, so here are the custom pilot loadouts. Some of the stuff that you can change. So you can change. Let me go to a character that you can see their face here. So you can change gender of the pilots. You can change their primary weaponry, which I think alters their look. Yep. So depending on the weapon you have, that changes the character, what the character looks like. Which, like we were talking about Team Fortress, it makes it easy to identify like the silhouette of a character. Like I know that character looks like a sniper character looks like this, so I can identify them a little bit easier. So right now there are the 3 weapons that are unlocked. There are 2 other ones. I don't know if these are specific to the beta, if this is going to be finalized. I'm assuming it's beta. So there's a DMR sniper, which I used. You unlock at level 9. I thought it was a pretty fun weapon to use. No quick scoping. Sorry. And no scoping. I did not have luck trying it. SMG, which is pretty fast and powerful. And of course that smart pistol, which we already saw, and the shotgun. Then you can unlock things by completing challenges. So there are different kinds of sights, which I'm sure everyone who's played Call of Duty is really familiar with. If you complete these challenges, you unlock the sights for this particular weapon, and then there's a mod for it. Suppressors, extended magazine, or the factory issue stuff. Anti-Titan weapon, there's only 2 that's available right now. There is a burn card, which we won't see because it's later on when you unlock. Burn cards are consumables that you get by completing rounds. And one of the burn cards that I had was unlock like this mega powered anti-Titan weapon that's not on this list, so clearly there are other weapons that are available that are not available in the beta. So we'll go stick with the Sidewinder here. Sidearm, there are different pistols. This is the auto-fire pistol, the full auto one that I was telling you about, that comes with the class that comes with the smart pistol. And there's just a regular Hammond issue pistol as well. These do not appear to be different between the 2 factions. If people are wondering that, the weaponry is essentially exactly the same. Then there's different abilities. Cloak is the one that everyone starts off with. It allows you to become invisible for a little while. The other one that I thought was really fun is Stim, which allows you to run a lot faster. And your health regeneration hits a lot faster. So if you're getting killed a lot, you run into a room, you hit the Stim pack, you can run faster, and your health regeneration is really quick. And those aren't one use. Those have a cooldown on them.
I do have a question here. There is a stealth ability, the cloak that you used earlier.
Yep.
If you are cloaked and you rodeo a Titan, does it know you are rodeoing it?
Yes. I mean, it's still, I guess there's pressure plates or something. I don't know what the narrative explanation for it is.
Super dumb verb, rodeo. I'll rodeo that Titan real good.
Yeah, and there's some of the notifications you get for experience points are pretty funny when it comes to that stuff. So, frag grenade, arc grenade is sort of electromagnetic grenade that you can use against Titans that are really good. It distorts the vision of the Titan, so the monitors become really hazy and fuzzy, and it's really hard to see anything that's happening. And then there are different kinds of kits, which are all unlocked in the beta, as far as I can tell, except for Warpfall Transmitter. So, all right. The advanced or enhanced parkour kit allows you to wall run and wall hang for increased periods of time. So we weren't doing any wall hanging, but when you jump and grab a ledge, if you don't press anything after that, you can hang on that ledge and still fire your weapon from there, which I think is kind of a cool thing. I don't know if it's secondary only or primary. From what I remember, I was using the smart pistol, and I don't recall it changing my pistol when I did it, when I wasn't playing it during the beta. I played it last week. Explosives increases ammo capacity, and the power cell, just the burn on your tactical ability is shorter, which is like the cloak and the stim. Tier 2 stuff, this dome shield battery. When your Titan falls to the ground, there's a dome around it that protects it from fire. So that way you don't just drop it into the world and then someone just blows it up immediately. It's protected for a certain amount of time. This ability allows that dome to stay up longer. And if you're inside that dome, you will be protected as well. But as soon as you get in, the animation of the Titan standing up, I think he pokes his head out of it, if I'm not mistaken. So if your Titan is sitting there by itself, it will be fine. But if you get in, you're basically coming out of the dome at that point. Minion detector allows you to just see the minions on the map, which are the AI-controlled grunts.
Oh, they actually do call them minions.
Yeah. Well, one side of them are called, well, they're minions, yeah, but one side I think calls them grunts, and one is called specters. Grunts are like, you know, the term for the military guys in the match, and specters are the robots. Warfall transmitter accelerates your Titan substantially. Short range jump technology. I don't remember what this did. I don't know if I actually unlocked this when I played it before.
Oh man, jumping Titan. Please.
No, it's not that the Titan jumps. I think it accelerates the development of your Titan. So it can now when you call it down, it comes in faster. It doesn't build faster, but it can come in faster. So you can think of a situation where there's a group of guys that you want to drop your Titan on top of. If you have warp fall, it comes in immediately. So you drop the Titan and it lands on everyone really fast. So I think that's probably what that ability is going to be. I'm going to use that a lot, I think. That sounds like a really fun thing. And then again, you could change the gender of your character. I mean, we should cycle through what all the people look like. Smart pistol.
That is sort of a popular thing that's happening in a lot of games now. It's giving you those gender options.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
No, I mean Halo did it a while ago. And
yeah, Call of Duty just did it. Battlefield, there are women in the single player, but there's a woman in the single player, but there is no ability to change your gender in Battlefield. At least not yet. Hopefully that'll change.
Well, they are still working on it.
Do you think they're going to make a new Battlefield? It seems like you mean they're still working on Battlefield 4. You know,
I'll finish it someday.
I have been playing it recently and haven't had much issue with it, to be honest with you. I think, do we want to say goodbye? Do we have time for just one more? I kind of feel like I haven't showed people how to rodeo Titans.
I would love to, but we have another stream starting at 4 p.m. and I'm going to have to be online to start configuring that a little early.
Oh, yes, I forgot that you're doing that as well. All right, well, I'm sure this won't be the last of it. You'll see. Maybe I'll stream it on my personal channel as well. So thanks everyone who's watching. I haven't been able to keep up with chat, and I don't even know how many people are actually watching the stream, but we appreciate you coming in. This was a quick last-minute thing. We just got the code, so we wanted to play it. And hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll see you online, I guess, if you get access to the Titanfall beta, which officially begins tomorrow, and I think they should be sending out codes pretty soon. Yeah. Hopefully.
And I'll just throw out there for everyone watching, we'll have another stream at 4 p.m. This is our usual Joystiq streams time. We stream at 4 p.m. Eastern, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Today we are playing a game called Rollers of the Realm, which is a pinball RPG hybrid. And it's pretty cool.
Sounds pretty cool. All right, well, thanks, everyone. We appreciate your time. Thanks, Richard, for jumping in. And hopefully we'll see you online in the Titanfall beta, which starts tomorrow on PC and the Xbox One.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.